What's goody? It's your host Jay Rose as always, and the NBA has dropped its final MVP ladders for the year, so I wanted to check that out and talk about it a little bit because I think it's some bullshit. Let's get into it. Over 90% of the people that watch my content are not subscribed, so if you're messing with the videos, please hit that sub button and the noti bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. But let's get back to the hoops. Alright, so here's the MVP ladder. They're setting the stage here. They're talking about Nikola Jokic's 40-point game against the Timberwolves, 16-20. Fried. Rudy Gobert had 11 boards, had 7 dimes. That's a great game from Jokic. So obviously this is going to be their main reason for pushing him to the forefront. Is this game. I feel like they feel like that game is like a statement game for Jokic in his MVP campaign, so I can understand that. They also say Jokic finishes first in 4 consecutive seasons of the Kia MVP ladder race, and that doesn't mean he won 4 straight MVPs. It just means NBA.com at the end of the season had him first 4 times straight, and obviously he hasn't won all of them. Embiid won last year, but he's won 2 out of the 3 so far. He's 4th this year. Odds are in his favor. I feel like chances are he's probably going to win it again, which is fine. I'm not mad at Jokic winning it, but I feel like the reasoning is just ass. So we can look at the list here. We got Jokic first, 26, 12, and 9. Great numbers. He ranks first in plus minus, second in assists, third in rebounds, 5th in total points, and top 10 in a few hustle stats. What are the hustle stats? Can we see that? He ranks top 10 in a few hustle stats. He's not here for deflections. So we got loose balls recovered, not here. Screen assists, he should be here. He's here for screen assists per game. Are these the hustle stats we're talking about? Because that's the only one I see him here on. We're nearing the end, and I still haven't seen Jokic on top 10 except for one thing. Oh no! Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. Ranks among the top 10 in a few hustle stats. I go check the hustle stats on your goddamn page, and he's only here once. Ooh, this is some propaganda. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm fine if you get an MVP to Jokic, but let's be for real, bro. Don't boost him up. Don't try to boost him up and bring everybody else down for nothing, bro. Then you look at his true shooting in the clutch. Okay, we can talk about the clutch later. Jokic checks off most of the boxes, and if the Nuggets win out, his case becomes even more airtight. Airtight? This MVP race should not be airtight for anybody participating. Anybody who wins this race should not be anywhere close to unanimous, in my opinion. I feel like this is a very contested race. There's really 3 options. At the moment, I feel like there's really 2 options. I don't think Shea should get as many votes. I feel like it should be very closely contested between him and Luka. But here we are at Shea at number 2. And let's really get into this. Let's really read this. We got Shea's numbers. Shea had a great season, 35 and 6. Those are great numbers. You can't really say much about that. There's no knock towards Shea. Tough decision here, given all the momentum Luka has generated with his eye-popping numbers and wins, while Gilgeous has mixed 6 of the last OKC's 9. SGA has still played 3 more contests than Doncic, leading a team of virtual unknowns to the Western Conference contention. And I'm gonna put my face back fully on the screen so y'all can understand how much bullshit that is. Did y'all really watch the OKC Thunder the whole year and say a team of virtual unknowns? The Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the most well-rounded and deep teams in the goddamn NBA this season. J-Dub has been going crazy. Chet Holmgren has been going crazy. Cason Wallace has had his moments of looking great. The other Jalen Williams has had his moments of looking great. You know what I'm saying? They added Gordon Hayward in the trade deadline. I'm not sure what he's done since then. They have some dudes off the bench who got the chop. That is not a team of nobodies. They don't have another all-star yet, but that's because Chet is a rookie. And that's because J-Dub is still young. That team is dumb nice. Calling them virtual unknowns is the craziest statement you could have possibly made. And I see you're trying to boost him up, but there's literally nothing you could say besides that to put him over Luka this year. Shea has done nothing individually better than Luka this year. So that is literally one of the only ways that you could boost him up over Luka, to even put him at 2 over Luka, which I think is crazy. But we're going to go down to Luka. Here he is, 34, 9, and 10. Regardless of what you say to me, I think Jokic's numbers are comparable. But looking at this is clearly one of the most insane stat lines I've ever seen in a season, period. He's averaging the most points, assists, rebounds together in a season since the merger. So the only person to have more than him is like fucking Wilt Chamberlain. That's not crazy. And they want to talk about how the Mavs have won 16 of their last 18. How the fuck did he drop them? How did he drop then? And then this is what really got it. There's no disagreement here if you got Doncic at number 2. He's trekked a tougher road while cranking out more production than Gilgeous-Alexander, but he also plays alongside a future Hall of Famer too. Let's get this out of the way. The future Hall of Famer in question missed 25 games and we won 50 of them. So if that's your argument, literally half of the wins that we got this year were not even with Kyrie. And then also, since when is playing with another Hall of Famer detriment to your MVP case? When? The only time I can remember that being an issue was with Steph and KD, and I absolutely condone that shit. Because why the hell would you be able to give one of those two the MVP on this damn super squad? Other than that, there's literally no case where this has happened. No case. When have you ever seen the guy on his team is just too nice? The second guy on his team is just too nice, so we can't give him the MVP. We're gonna drop him a spot for this guy. What? It's like you're literally trying to come up with something to make Luka drop. And my third point, y'all didn't even think that they were gonna be good up until this trade deadline. I was hearing Kyrie and Luka wouldn't work. Up until December, it was still really, really loud because Kyrie wasn't even playing his best up until the new year. So up until that point, nobody was saying that this was gonna work. We were literally just in the play-in a couple of weeks ago. But now that we're a 50-win team, y'all wanna do shit like this. Kyrie's a future Hall of Famer. He's just too nice. We can't give Luka that spot. He's playing with Kyrie Irving. If you really want to talk about it, the Thunder and the Nuggets have a better roster on paper. We have the best co-star, but outside of that, those two teams have way better rosters than the Mavericks do. So this is crazy. This is crazy talk. I'm not gonna lie. This is propaganda. This is all I can see that as. And I know some people know Luka is my guy, so that's gonna take a lot of credibility away from what I'm saying, but please trust me. I don't care if this nigga wins or not. I want him to win, but if you can give me a real reason why somebody else deserves it over him and not just bullshit me like they just did with Shea, and they did it a little bit with Jokic too, then I would be okay with that. But those are not legitimate reasons. They're not. It's very clear that to close out the year, the Mavericks have been the best team closing out. And it's very clear to close out the season, Luka has been the best player. And that's not even to close it out. That's been throughout the entire year. Individually, he's the best player. To close the season out, he has the best team. How the hell did we drop to 2? But I'm going to just leave it at that, bro. Y'all can clearly see how I feel about that. The NBA is really bugging out with this. We can look at the rest of the candidates. We have Giannis here with 30, 11, and 6. I'm not going to talk about this part too long. But the fact that the real reason that these two are above Giannis, or these two are above Luka, is because of seeding. And then we have Giannis, who is ahead of Tatum. Now, objectively, Giannis has the better numbers. 30, 11, and 7. Cool. Tatum, 27, 8, and 5. It's very clear that Giannis has the better numbers, right? But the gap that Giannis has in terms of seeding, the gap that Tatum has on Giannis in terms of seeding is 13 games. You're willing to put somebody who clearly had a worse regular season in front of Luka over 5 games. 5, literally 5. Right there, 5 games. 5-game difference. And if you're talking about Jokic, 6-game difference. You're willing to put those two over him for a 6-game difference. But somehow, Giannis, who is 13 games behind the Celtics, he gets more credibility in this race than Jason Tatum. And this is my final point. Let's stop pretending like there's a real MVP criteria, because there's not. Throughout the NBA history, there's been a criteria. And the top player on the top team usually has one. In recent years, there's absolutely no goddamn criteria. So I'm tired of all these analysts pretending like they know exactly what they want out of their MVP, because they don't. It changes on a year-to-year basis, and I feel like it probably should going forward, because this seeding stuff is getting real out of hand, especially considering, you know what, I'm about to make a whole video on Luka, so I'm not even about to harp on it. Let's look at the rest of the candidates. We got Sabonis, Edwards, Brunson, KD, Booker. Yeah, I'm not sure how Sabonis is here over a guy like Edwards or a guy like Brunson. The Kings have a decent record compared to the Knicks, I'm pretty sure, but either way, I'm just not too sure about that. But that's their list. Like I said, I feel like this is some shit. From top to bottom, I feel like this list is some shit. Adam Silver, you have some explaining to do, because this is insane, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.